Hey, how's everybody doing? Listen, we are normally never this late, but due to technical issues, I'm just glad we were able to be here. Well, look, we have a good show for you, and we're not going to be able to cover everything we wanted to, but we're going to cover as much as possible. So, this is what I suggest. Get your pad, your pen, your paper, get whatever you need to get because I want to definitely show you a few things. And I want to talk to you. Did you know that this is long term care month? Long term care. Now, what does that mean? Long term care is when you have a situation or a person has a situation where they're not able to take care of themselves as they used to. Maybe they need help, not that they can't do, but they may need help feeding themselves, clothing themselves, um, making it from one room to the bathroom, all right? Showering, transferring. They may have continence issues. It could be a couple of things, right? There has to be at least two of those things in order for it to be recognized medically. But it's critical because a lot of people have dealt with it. And maybe they didn't know. I talked with a guy around 5 years ago who thought he had long-term care. You know what he had? And he bought this for his dad, his mom and dad. He had long-term disability. Long-term disability is not long-term care. Two different things. Some people have Medicare and they think that's going to cover it. Medicare will cover long-term care, but for a short period of time. Short. All right. Long-term care is extremely important, and that's why this is the month of it. So we're going to be talking about it all month. Long-term care. Now, let me mention to you, the Friday after Thanksgiving, we will not be having a podcast. No podcast. I won't be live. It's going to be here. I just won't be live. It's going to be Memorex. You know what I mean. It's going to be recording, okay? So I just want to give you a heads up on that. Hey, you know what I want to do? I want to acknowledge the folks who are helping making this possible. And I want to make sure that you understand how important it is that that you and I take the advantage of this, right? We got to take the advantage of it. People ask me from time to time, well, where are they located? And I'm talking about our sponsors, right? Our sponsors. Man, they're for the most part in Savannah. Davis, Bosman, Johnson Law. All right. I want you just to look at this information. It's on the bottom of the screen right now. And you could reach out to them. You know why? They're in Savannah, Atlanta, Statesboro. So they really, for the most part, got the state of Georgia covered. They got the state of Georgia covered. So if you're living in Georgia, you may want to reach out if you have some legal needs. Now, if it's a situation where you need some dry cleaning, all right, you're going to the wedding, what about one-stop cleaners? Okay, look, One Price Cleaners is in Garden City, Georgia, at the farmers market, or right outside of the farmers market on Highway 21 or Highway 80, excuse me. All right, they're Black owned and operated. All right, so they have some good prices, some good prices. And from what I understand, according to our guest we had on a couple of weeks ago, they do a good job. So you want to look at that. If you need cleaning, one price cleaning. All right. If you need legal services, Davis, Bosman, Johnson Law, the law firm that gets great results. You know what a lot of lawyers are doing today? They're specializing. All right. Somebody had a car accident or something like that, right? They need a lawyer. You better get a lawyer. Let me tell you now, you could do what you want to do. But as for me and my house, we're gonna get an attorney. And who better than those folks right there? Okay. So while we're on, I want you to do something. I want you to share, encourage others to attend. This is going to be a really good 45 minutes. We will be out of here in 45 minutes. Okay. Now, listen to me. This is this is very powerful. I want to share with you about long-term care, and I excuse me. I'm going to my sinuses are messing with me a little bit, but that's not what was holding us up. We just had some technical issues. All right, hold on. All right, so what's long-term care for? Right? What is it for? All right, it's for protecting the family. It really will help protect your family. Long-term care is part, or it is a life insurance policy. Yeah. Okay. So you can add it as a writer to like you're applying for life insurance. You can get it through, some companies will offer it as a writer onto the policy of a life insurance company. Others, you can get standalone um, policy, and that'll be, uh, I guess I can mention a couple of companies like One America or Mutual of Omaha. Like those are companies that I happen to deal with. All right, but Transamerica offers a beautiful long-term care policy that will be attached to a life insurance policy. So that is very good. If you need life insurance, always ask your life insurance agent if they offer long-term care. A lot of people, I was talking with an attorney around 4 years ago, 5 years ago, who does not have long-term care. And he was looking into it, but he didn't want to pay the premium. What can you say? Long-term care, the older you are, the more it costs. Let me tell you something. It's going to cost you a whole bunch if you need it. You need long-term care, but you do not have a long-term care policy. That um, that need could eat up your finances quick. If you need long-term care, you need that medical. It's more like a medical coverage. All right. If you need it, I'm telling you, um, you need to look into it. All right. You need to look into it. And listen, it's really good. It's really good. So it's very valuable to understand why you need long-term care. What does it do? All right. So let me see if I could if I could give you a better idea about long-term care. Give me one moment here. You ever know of anyone who um, they help their home, okay, but their mother or father, and they help that parent. They help that parent or their brother, their sister, sometimes their child, and they help them because maybe they were in a car accident, or it could simply just be age, and now they're not able to do for themselves like they were able to. Okay, that could be a situation, right? That could be a situation. So I'm just going to read something from my notes here. Nearly 70% of those turning 65 today are expected to need some type of long-term care services in their remaining years. It makes me think because I'm turning 65. All right. How long will you need it? 3 years is the average length of time you'll need some kind of long-term care services. All right. So it's important to understand there's no age as to who needs long-term or who will need long-term care. I met a lady going back 4 or 5 years ago. I met this lady whose son, and hey, look, I have nothing against sports in school. Nothing. I just say be careful, okay? Be careful. I play sports. I love sports, okay? Now, her son played football and got injured. He got injured and needed long-term care. His mom didn't have long-term care. She had medical. So a lot of people think that medical will cover long-term care. It did not. A lot of people think that disability will cover long-term care. It will not. Disability is related to what? Job injuries. All right. Now, if you buy disability outside of your job, which I would recommend, if you do that, then that's good because that could help when you're not able to perform certain tasks. They're going to look at everything, all right? Insurance companies just don't give away money. They're going to look at everything, all right? So it's very important to understand what you're doing, what you're looking for, and how long it's going to last you, okay? That's important. Now, why you might need long-term care insurance coverage. Let me tell you why. You should carefully consider these factors that may increase your need for long-term care. I'm just reading from my notes, okay? Hold on one moment here. And you should understand it's good for now and it's good for future, okay? Age. As you get older, you may become more dependent on family or others to help support your daily activities. What's your daily activities? That's what you need to ask yourself. Well, Anthony, what are my daily activities? You don't know? Of course you do. You need to eat, right? Somebody may have to help feed you. You can't prepare your own food. Or you get tired lifting up. It's no joke, people. You may get tired lifting up that fork, that spoon. Okay? So it's very, very important. Long-term care allows you to allows or helps in those areas. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Let's look at it. Let's look at it some more. As you get older, you become more dependent on family. But you know what your family has? They have their own life. Family has their own life. Now, what are you going to do? What about living arrangements? If you live alone, you're more likely to need paid care than if you're living with a partner or a family member. So you're going to have to pay somebody. What about gender? Women outlive men today, right? By about 5 years on average. So they are more likely to live at home alone when they are older. Do they need long-term care? You better believe it. You better believe it. Women, hear me. You really need to look at this. What about the health status? A poor diet, poor exercise habits can increase your chances of needing long-term care. What about family history? Whether your parents or grandparents had chronic health conditions may increase the likelihood of needing additional care. I'm talking to you and about you, needing additional care later in life. I know a lot of people say, well, I got my children. My children will help me. My grandchildren will help me. And that's true, they might, for as long as they can. But if you're not able to pay them or they get tired, listen, man, that true story. I know a family. They had to put their mother in a nursing home. Why? Well, because the children had to work. All right, it can be very costly if you don't have the coverage. All right, hey, look, I'm telling you, folks, pay attention to what I'm saying. Health insurance and Medicare can help pay for the cost of immediate medical expenses or acute care. But if you become chronically ill and need ongoing care, you may need something more. Family members they can't do everything. They have a life. Your children have their own life. What if your children, like I met this family, and she said her daughter, I said, well, where does your daughter live? Her daughter lives in another state. How's her daughter going to help her? See, we assume that our children, because we raise them, we assume they're going to step out of their comfort zone to help us. Well, you know what they say of assumptions, what it makes us, right? I'm not going to say it, but you know. Family members, hey, look, they may provide support, but as your needs increase, you could end up paying for additional services and care. All right, so now this may be manageable in the short term, but the costs associated with the chronic illness may quickly deplete your resources you've worked your entire life to build. Hey, I'm telling you, this is a very serious situation, and a lot of us don't take it serious. A lot of us don't take it to heart. A lot of us don't pay any attention to what's going on in our health or what's going on in our world. All right. I'm going to share with you the average cost of long-term care, and it will depend on the type and amount of care you need and where the care is received. For example, the yearly cost of an at-home health aide, 18 hours per week, just 18, we're talking annual cost now, is $50,000. $50,000. Do you have that cash available? I know a family right now, as we speak. A young lady, she's bedridden. Now she has life insurance, but she doesn't have long-term care. You know, she worked hard, but now all that hard work, it's not paying off. You know why? She has no coverage, no long-term care coverage. Her husband's trying to help her, but he's just as old, if not older than her. How much can he do? How much? All right, the yearly cost of a private room in a nursing home, excuse me, over $100,000. You heard me right. You heard me right. So we need to think about this. We need to think about this. Long-term care is extremely important. So when you meet with your life insurance agent, ask them if they offer long-term care. If your life insurance agent does not offer long-term care, or they don't know that much about it, guess who does? I do. And I can help you regardless of where you are in the United States. It doesn't matter. The United States or Canada. There's a long-term care rider, that's what it's called, which will allow you to accelerate a portion of your policy's death benefit. So that's why it helps if you have life insurance. All right, that'll help meet some of the monthly expenses you incur for qualified long-term care services. All right, so these benefits are generally income tax-free in accordance with the terms of the long-term care rider, which is critical. Look, you're not going to be paying any tax on that money. You get that in a life insurance policy. You're not paying any tax. These benefits will be free to you. Now, our time is winding down, and I know we started late. Please forgive me. You know we hate being late. Technical issues. And look, I'm not a computer nerd, all right? But life happens. And when you're dealing with electronics, it really happens, okay? So whether or not you receive long-term care benefits for qualified long-term care services, the life insurance policy will still provide a death benefit, okay, to your beneficiaries. So that is extremely valuable. A long-term care policy through a life insurance company will still provide a death benefit to your beneficiaries if you should transition, or once you transition in life. You're always going to die, right? I used a 3-letter word, die. All of us are going to die. So there's questions that people have, like, what if I never receive long-term care benefits? Your beneficiaries will receive the full death benefit minus any outstanding loans. Okay? Here's another question a lot of people have. What if I receive some long-term care benefits? If I receive some, not full, but just some, pay attention. Your beneficiaries will receive the death benefit minus any long-term care benefits paid and outstanding loans. All right, so you have to remember that the life insurance policy works depending on how it's set up. It works in several different ways. All right, several different ways, and so you need to keep that in mind. You need to keep that in mind. All right, it'll help you out a whole bunch if you know what to ask for and if you know what you're looking for. You need somebody that knows what they're doing. It's plain and simple. And you need long-term care. You need it. Okay? Wow. So, I mean, these notes are extensive here. Very important. I want to read this. Your beneficiaries will receive the death benefit. Yes, I'm reading it over. Minus any long-term care benefits paid and outstanding loans. Also, while receiving benefits, the long-term care rider charges the charges for the long-term care rider will be waived. So you're still paying your premium, but it's going to be minus whatever the cost of the long-term care rider is. All right. Other policy charges will continue to be assessed. All right. The policy will not lapse, but there will be a reduction in the premium. And you are not required to pay the minimum no lapse premium. Okay. So there's going to be a reduction, and it could be a substantial amount. That's important. That's only if you start receiving the benefits of the long-term care rider. All right. So what if I have exhausted the long-term care benefits? That's another good question. I'm glad you asked that. The base, see, keep in mind, I said that there's a life insurance policy that you could add a long-term care rider to. A lot of companies offer it. But the one that I specifically like is Transamerica. Well, I'm partial. All right. I'm biased. Transamerica just happens to be our company. The parent company to the company I'm with. All right. That's important for you to understand that. Okay. Now let me get to that's why I'm so biased. Okay. Let me get to this some more. Let's see. All right. All right, here's another question. All right. What if I have exhausted the long-term care benefits? The base life insurance policy can provide your beneficiaries, with a residual death benefit. The residual death benefit is equal to the lesser of 10% of the lowest face amount of the base policy from inception, less any outstanding policy loans, or B, $10,000. It's going to be one or the other. All right. Now, benefits paid under the long-term care rider will reduce the life insurance policy's death benefit and policy value. Consideration should be given to whether your life insurance needs would still be met if the long-term care rider benefits are paid out in full. What does that mean? That means that you have to make sure you get enough life insurance. You have to make sure you get enough. You have to make sure. Don't be a tightwad. You have to make sure. Okay? That's important. How the long-term care rider works. All right, you ready for this? This is important. Now, why am I'm beating up on this thing. I'm taking my time. I know I sound monotonous today. I sound like I realize that. But I want to make sure you hear, and I want to make sure you understand something very critical. Very critical. You could be self-insured, or you could transfer the risk to the insurance company and let them take all the risk. Hey, the choice is completely, totally up to you. Now, let's talk about how the long-term care rider works, all right? To be eligible for monthly long-term care benefits, the following conditions must be satisfied. And this, again, is with our parent company. It's called Transamerica. The insured is certified as chronically ill by a licensed healthcare practitioner. All right? That means you got to go to the doctor. The doctor has to say, hey, look, my client needs to activate their long-term care. That's what it's saying. All right, another way to look at it, another thing that identifies how long-term care policy works is this. A plan of care prescribed and approved by a licensed healthcare practitioner must be provided to the company I'm referring to is Transamerica. Other companies may require something different. All right. There has to be a proof of loss. That's the third thing. Documentation must be provided to Transamerica each month showing expenses incurred for qualified long-term care services in accordance with the plan of care. Now, this is extremely critical. The next point. There is a 90-day elimination period that must be met. What's an elimination period? I equate that to like a deductible. You have auto insurance, right? Before your car insurance pays for the accident that you were in, you have to satisfy the deductible, or they'll give you a certain amount, a check, minus the deductible. Well, in the insurance industry, it's called an elimination period. This case, it's a 90-day elimination period. It must be met. It must be met. All right. Once that is met, then the coverage kicks in. So let's talk about the areas that long-term care is extremely will be looked at, and what you should consider. All right. A licensed healthcare practitioner must certify that one, the insured has a severe cognitive impairment that requires substantial supervision to protect the insured from threats to health and safety, or two, the insured is unable to perform without substantial assistance from another individual at least two or more of these activities of daily living for an expected period of 90 days. Now, that's the elimination period due to loss or functional capacity. So what two areas? Bathing, continence. Know what continence is, right? All right. That's when you're not able to hold your water. dressing, getting dressed. It's not talking about salad dressing. Eating, toileting. You need help. You need help getting to the bathroom. Or sometimes you need help in the bathroom with cleaning yourself. Man, I know it was graphic. What can I tell you? This is real life, people. And then the last thing is transferring. Getting out of the bed into a chair, or out of a chair into bed, or from a walker, or not walker, but a wheelchair to a chair, or whatever, transferring. You need help doing that. Okay. So long-term care is extremely valuable, guys. Extremely valuable. Hey, what I want to do right now, I want to share a commercial with you. All right, let's take a couple of minute break here, and then I'll be right back.
Why does it seem like no one wants to talk about dreams anymore? Is it the post 9/11 worries, the post-recession blues, or the posts on social media by anyone with an opinion that have made the world so cynical these days? Are they obsolete? Out of style? Are they uncool? Do you still have dreams? For many North Americans, a dream is nothing but an old-fashioned idea replaced by the harsh reality of a modern world. Longer work hours, higher debt, fewer raises, horrible bosses, less family time. Who's got time for dreams when everyone's just trying to get by? We're here to officially announce that WSB is bringing dreams back. And we're not doing it for just the ultra-wealthy like others are. We're doing it for everyone. Every age, every background, every gender, every experience level. Whoever you are, we're here to help you. And help starts with a financial education. When people know how money really works, they can reduce debt and enjoy the confidence that comes from knowing their families are protected financially. They can discover the excitement that comes from a solid strategy to save for the future and the hope that one day they might become financially independent. But we don't stop there. We open the door to anyone to become a business owner and be part of our mission to help others. We don't want anyone to shrink the size of their dreams to fit the size of their opportunity. That's why there's no limit to how many people can reach our top promotion levels. And that's why we don't put any limits on how much you can earn with us. Success is not reserved for a few. It's offered to anyone willing to learn, work hard, and grow. We believe anyone with the right support can transition from where they are today as someone's employee to where they could be tomorrow as an entrepreneur who owns their future. If you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to help build theirs. When you know how to protect your family financially, when you take control of your money, when you're enabled to succeed, an amazing thing happens. Dreams are all you want to talk about. If you still have dreams, start here.
Wow. I hope you still have dreams, but on the same token, I want to make sure that you don't lose them because of ignorance. Because of ignorance. Because you didn't take care of yourself, or you didn't know how to take care of yourself. I mean, what can I say? This is a very important topic, all right? It's not an exciting topic, but it is extremely important. Hey, I just want to acknowledge our sponsors once again, all right? Davis, Bosman, Johnson Law, the law firm that gets great results. Their telephone number is running across the screen, 912-225-1600. They have offices in Atlanta, Savannah, as well as Statesboro. Okay, there goes the email right there, www.dbjlawyers.com. Okay, man, what a great opportunity. Listen, if you need a lawyer, reach out to them. I'm sure they'd be glad to help you. Now, some people want to get their clothes clean before they go to the lawyers. Well, there's One Price Cleaners in Garden City, Georgia, at the farmers market on Highway 80. All right, it's black owned and operated. Now, they say they have the best prices in town. I'm going to try to make it over there today to check them out. If not today, tomorrow for sure. So, folks, I hope you got something out of this today. And listen, remember that there's no time to play around with this. No time at all. Hey, I want to thank you for being with us today. All right. I'm sorry again. We had those technical issues. That doesn't happen often, but it happened. And nevertheless, thank you for being with us. We hope to see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.